your team host Manchester United.
Yeah, so as usual, United always there is a saga, a saga attached to United. It was Frankie last season. It is Mount this season. Even though Mount is probably not the first player United should be signing, they should be looking for a striker and then probably a goalkeeper. Onana was also linked, and I think he is a good option because he's a good short stopper, and also he's good with his feet as well. So I think we are linked to 40 million move for Onana, which sounds fair. But I don't know why Chelsea have not yet, given the green light for the Mount move, because you can't expect anything more than 55 million for Mount, because the player wants to leave. United want to sign him. Chelsea probably want to offload him rather than selling him for free next season. I think this is not over yet. I think the valuation gap between both sides is very less, and towards the end of the transfer window, we'll see one more move from United, and probably this deal will go through. And in terms of strikers, that is what United need to address. And Rasmus Holland from Atlanta. He is kind of like Haaland, but very young as well. But he is like 6 feet 3 or something like that. 6 feet 1, I guess. 6 feet 1. So he is also an interesting pick. Osimhen from Napoli is another choice, but then he is also extending his contract at Napoli. Yeah. So Harry Kane, that would be the biggest saga in this transfer if United decide to go after him. But I'm sure United knows better, because to have to strike a deal with Daniel Levy is almost impossible, especially if Kane leaves this season. They are in big trouble as well. So and for Kane also, this is probably the last chance for him to move to a very big club, because he's turned 30. And even Real Madrid were looking at him at one point, but now I think because Mbappe is free, I've seen a lot of people, so a lot of United fans rooting for Mbappe, but sadly, and I don't want him to come, basically, because you don't want another character in this side, because I don't think Eric Ten Hag wants such big characters who might disrupt the team. So yeah, so that is United. We need a couple of signings to at least stay there in the top four. And Mount is a good signing. I feel that he has the physical and the technical attributes probably that what Ericsson is lacking right now, because I expected Ericsson to pitch in with a lot more goals. And also he has struggled to progress with the ball, which is United's biggest problem, because we don't have anyone in midfield who can take the ball and progress it, and also someone who can play on the right wing other than Bruno. When he goes to the right side, it does take away a lot of attacking momentum from United from the central area. So if Mount comes in, he can drift into the half spaces, and he can probably provide United with a lot more threat. You saw him what 2021-22 season where he was exceptional. So I hope that this transfer goes through. But Mount has a ceiling. He's not a world class player, so I don't expect too much from him. But I think he might improve this United side.
Probably he's a good option till a better option comes in.
Right.
Like he can fill the gap till a better option than him comes in. But yes, as you said, as and we have heard, there might be a final offer accepted by Chelsea before 30th of June, just to balance
Yeah.
their books. So that is the place where Chelsea are, I guess, trying to squeeze a few more bucks for Mount, and that's why they are talking, taking the deal so long. But yes,
Right.
good option as of now. As you mentioned, there are any other no other links, right? Specifically, other than Kane at the moment.
Right.
Or right back also is something you should probably
Address. Right. Probably.
address.
Probably it's because United can't spend too much in this transfer window unless they know if the sale of the club has gone through, which is another drama altogether, which we expect from the Glazers family, because they just can't leave us alone. They have rotten the club for the last 10-12 years, and they still want to, you know, stay at United. They don't want to sell the whole club. They want to keep equity in the club, and I hope it is done with this transfer window before the next season. We have a clear sale of the
Answer.
club. Yeah,
Yes, and apart from that, as you mentioned, there is also a need for a center mid. As we have seen, there are only two players as of now who can play 50 games a season. That is Bruno and Casemiro. Apart
right.
from Casemiro taking some reds and suspensions, so to accompany those players, we have seen a lot of injuries here and there. Then Fred McTominay has to come and fill in. We have seen Ericsson not being able to play. So again, those are
Mhm.
the few interesting picks where United need to work on, and then they can challenge for probably a better competition than this season.
Right.
Yes.